Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Dragonfly. I just had a couple things on my mind today. Um, as the mother of a special needs child, the sole caregiver of her, and the person responsible for keeping her healthy, keeping her medication proper, keeping her doctor appointments, and making sure if anything comes up that I contact her doctor immediately. She has a wonderful doctor, and he even understands that if Bridget has to go to the hospital for anything, even a cut, which she hasn't, but she has to go in the ambulance, because if I take her in there, she's very frightened. She knows what's coming and she doesn't want any of it. Once in there, she acts like a diva. She will lay on the bed and pull the covers up, which she doesn't do in normal life. And so, time before, she's only been in the hospital a few times. One was for a seizure. One was actually for constipation, believe it or not, because she hadn't gone in a week and they wanted to make sure there was no blockage or whatever. But we were in there for, I think, 4 days until I finally told the doctors there. And I was doing all the treatments because she wouldn't let the nurses do them. So the nurses would help me do the treatments that they do for that. And finally I said to the doctor, and this was kind of far away from home when we got stuck there. And I finally said to the doctor, look, I haven't had my medicine in 4 days, and I'm on heart medicine and Coumadin and these different things. And he's like, oh my God. And I said, yeah, kept thinking we were going to be released any day. And it just kept getting longer. Well, the kind of bad time she was in the hospital is she was having it turned out to be bronchitis. But they put us in isolation because they thought originally it was something more with her bronchial, maybe pneumonia, whatever. And we had to wear masks. And this is about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm not really sure. But, so we had to wear masks. And I was there alone with her. But the nurses had to wear masks. And of course, like I said, she was a diva. She was just she didn't sleep hardly at all. We were there for probably like 4 days again. And she would just stay awake all night. But I told the nurses again, I said, if I'm sleeping and it's time for a diaper change, wake me up. Because I've seen, let's just say, I know how to do it, so I'm gentle with her. Because, I mean, she's an adult. She can fight. And I know how not to, get her to fight. And, I'm just quick and I'm right there. So she was in the hospital, and of course I had to go eat. I had to go get a break. And one of the problems was Bridget does not know how to cough properly. Like you and I, if we feel a cough coming on, or we feel a buildup of fluid, we know to cough. And to cough enough that it breaks it up. Bridget does not know how to cough that way. So, we used to have to make her laugh. And we had to do enough laughing that she would start coughing. that was the only way we could get her to cough. So the nurse and I were hiding behind furniture. We were jumping out at her. We were falling onto her bed. We were pretend coughing. And like I said, the whole time we had masks on. And thankfully, I could go on breaks because they had like this, like a non-escape thing, where if she would have gotten out of bed, which she never would have, but an alarm would go off if she got out of bed. But like I said, she just laid there like a diva the whole time. Like, she would actually moan. And this is every time she's been in the hospital, no matter what it's been for. Or even at the doctor's office, if they put a blanket on her, she just goes like, like, I don't know where she gets it from. Maybe it's me, I don't know. But, okay, what I've been thinking is, COVID. I am so desperately afraid. Because, number one, I have heart issues. I have asthma. I have fibromyalgia. I've had sarcoidosis and Graves' disease. Not complaining. Got them all under control. And high cholesterol. Like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm fine. Feeling. But if I catch... So the reason I've only been out 10 times since March or February? Before Valentine's Day. The only reason I've been out only 10 times is because I am desperately afraid of getting this. Because, again, I am Bridget's sole caregiver. I have friends who can chip in if I get sick for a couple days. But if I were to go into the hospital if I got it, she would have to go to a respite, which would pretty much be a petri dish for this. If I got it, and God forbid, gave it to her, she would not be able to do anything to aid the physicians in helping herself. And she cannot wear a mask. So everywhere we go, I have to go with someone to get her. We're getting her out of the house, but she can't go in. The Wawa, the grocery store. Most of the time, I just take a ride with her. Because, if I have to get gas, I put a mask on. And they have a mask on, so it's okay, and she's in the back, and it's safe. But there are people around me who aren't always taking the same precautions. And I get home, I take my shoes off. I go right to the sink. I wash up, even though I've been wearing gloves. I've been hand sanitizing in the car. When I get out of the car, she holds my arm to walk up the stairs. So I hand sanitize my arm. When we get in, we get her shoes off, although she's been nowhere near anything. And then I hand sanitize for her because she's playing with her toys and holding her bottle and whatnot. And she's still in a bottle because she needs the calories of the formula and she won't drink it out of a cup. So just for the calorie intake of her formula, she still drinks a bottle. Otherwise, she would throw it all over my house. She would throw the cup, she would spill it everywhere. It's to get the calories into her because she doesn't know how to chew, so she gives up a lot when she's eating. Or all of a sudden it's just too much when you give her solid foods. She gets filled up really easy. She can eat a lot, trust me, but she does get full easy sometimes. So I keep the calories going with the formula. But that's my biggest fear, is that, number one, her getting sick and not being able to participate in her recovery, such as coughing, such as being able to do anything. I mean, they would have to be monitoring her so closely because she won't be able to tell you anything. You know, she can't tell you anything. And number two, because I'm so afraid, so hysterically terrified, actually. And I look like crap today. I could not sleep last night because it's just, it almost paralyzes me. That if something happens to me, there is no other sole caregiver. She would end up in a system. That's why I take good care of myself. I make sure I go to my doctor's appointments. I make sure I have my medications. If something serious happens to me, she will end up institutionalized. She doesn't deserve that. I don't even have her in a program right now because she wasn't given any personal care. She got warehoused, and I took her out. And because she does not speak, if something happened to me, she would be warehoused. She's only 30 years old. She will have a normal lifespan. She could be institutionalized. Something happened to me tomorrow. Of course, there's accidents, there's so many things that could happen. But this is preventable if we wear masks, if the people around us respect that this is desperate to people with underlying conditions and to people like Bridget. But if I die or I'm incapacitated, say she lives to 70, that's 40 years in an institution. Is that fair? I want to live as long as I can to take care of her. I don't care if I'm the 75-year-old woman hobbling down the street with my daughter. I want that. Yesterday, I gave her a bath. It took 2 hours. And I got wetter than she did. And it was hard. It's always hard because she stands up, but she's having a shower. And she's not that much shorter than me. And she's got a mass of hair. But I can do that. And I know what she wants before anybody else. I know I can see her seizures from across the room. Other people around are like, well, she doesn't have them. I said, yeah, she had one today. And because they haven't seen them, they don't believe me. And there has to be, I just want anyone who comes near my house to be sprayed with Lysol. I can't express this enough. If it was just me, I wouldn't be like this. I have another daughter, Katie. I lost my parents when I was in my 20s. And I was married and I had Katie. And 2 weeks later, my mom died. But I had my life already. Katie has her life already. My gosh, of course she'll miss me. But all Bridget has is me. And I have forbidden Katie to take her ever into her home. Because I did not raise Katie to give up her life for her sister. I want her to make sure she's okay. And to make sure she goes for a car ride once in a while. But being her main caregiver, my whole job is to protect her. And it really is difficult because people won't wear masks. And when they go to parties, they don't social distance. So it even isolates me more. Would I love to be able to go out to take her to a store? Yeah. Would I love to see her pushing that cart around the grocery store? Yeah. Or take her for a walk on the beach? Absolutely. But I value my life and I value her life more than anything I could ever imagine. So please, think about all this infighting, all your pride, and realize I have friends who've already had it. It's real. And it's dangerous. And Bridget and my life and everyone who's watching this, all of our lives depend on being responsible adults. I guess my rant is over. But I want you to all stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Take your shoes off before you come in the house. Take care of yourselves and your family and your moms and your dads. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm sorry I cried and I ranted. And you take care and be well.